I'm Daniel from Woodworking with Dash, and as you see, I've got all my new battery operated power tools in front of me from when I do my box making outside. I've got my my drop saw, nail guns, sanders, planers, and a brand new DeWalt battery operated table saw. Worth a bit of money, guys, these. In today's video, I'm going to take a planer and the sander, and we're going to make a box for them so the planer turns into a buzzer and the sander turns into a lineature. So I can take them with me when I go on my box making journeys. This is the sander and the planer, which we're going to turn into a lineature and a buzzer. So we'll work on the planer first. So I've got to make a box so the planer sits level upside down. But so you can access the battery, the trigger and the safety switch has got to be able to be turned on and off. But the first thing you do, we've got to make a box. So we'll work on that now. A bit of engineering to do. A bit of thinking when I'm making this box. Anyway, I'll work on it now and I'll get going with making the box. Just putting the box together now with the my new nail gun. And trying it in the box. You got to keep trying it in and out of the box to make sure it's all fitting well. And cutting the bottom plate now. Giving it a bit of a sand on the sander. And screwing it onto the box. And trying the planer again. As I said, you've got to keep taking it in and out. Make sure you're not stuff up. And putting the raised section on now. I've made a little box for the planer, and I've made a base for it. I let the base overhang about 30 mil so I can cramp it down to the bench so it doesn't move. And I've made an extension on the box, and I'll put another plate on top now. And that will fix the router in, jam it in there so I've got a longer in-feed table. Screwing it down and marking for the fence. And docking it now. And screwing it down to the box. Hey guys, look, we're finished. Show you how it works. Got my trigger finger here. I call it the trigger finger. Easy stop. Come out great, didn't it? Making something like this, it's you just got to start. There's no proper way of making it, or I just started with a box, then I added to it. Now I need something here. Then I made a fence. You just keep trying on and off. And to take the planer out, just undo the screws, and the planer pops out. So you can use it as a conventional planer, or you can put it in the box. And it just sits in the box like that. And the fence goes on top. And now it's a buzzer. One down, one to go, guys. Yeah, I think I know how I'm going to do it. I think I'll make a bottom table that's in two parts, so I can get a cramp underneath it. Just got to nip it, and that should hold it fairly steady, I think. And then put a wedge underneath the handle, and that will do it, I think. Just cutting the top and bottom plates now for the mounting box out of 1/2 inch birch ply, and gluing them up. Nailing him down. and seeing if the sander fits. And cutting the flat bottom plate that goes in front of the sander now. And seeing if the sander fits again. There you go. Again, back and forward, guys, back and forward to make sure everything fits. The sander finished too. Oh, the easy one. I just made a small platform where I can cramp it down. I put a cramp there and a couple of blocks to hold it steady. You can change it really quick. Take the cramp off and lift it out. Perfect. And that goes back in there like that. Push it up. And put a cramp on top. You don't need to cramp it really hard, just enough to hold it. So now we'll turn the sander into a ligature, and we'll turn the planer into a buzzer. So I'll polish them all up now, just so they look pretty. Look at the red of that jarrah, guys. I never get sick of seeing that. And spraying the box up. And trying them both in now. The buzzer, take the trigger finger out, go change the battery, quick change battery on these. There you go. Start the sander up. Now sand into a ligature. So I'm going to sand my edges. Done. We're finished. Look at that. I've turned a planer into a buzzer and a sander into a ligature. Both battery operated and both perfect for what I want them to do in the field. So this is going to work out great, guys. In this video I'm going to show you how I built this mobile saw stand with 2 drawers. Great card, isn't it, guys? It's for the dado head saw, so I can wheel it in and out so I can get behind it, but that's where one of the dust extractions is going to go. I've also made a great start on the miter saw station up build, but I'm waiting on blast gates from Amazon and for the plywood shop to open so I can buy the plywood. This is the epic miter station up build, and I've battened out all the walls to take the plywood. In the meantime, I'm trying to get rid of everything in the shop that I don't need and put it out under the carport, out of the way. So I've got a clear run at cleaning the shop. This is all the shed stuff that I put on tables under the carport. And now it's starting to rain. All underneath the carport. Lucky it's out of the weather. So come on a journey, built this cart to hold my dado head saw. Time to start the second part of this shed update. The first thing we have to do is to put wheels on the saw that holds the dado head. But I've decided I'm not going to use this base because it's just too wide. I'm going to make a base similar to the base that I made for the portable saw. And it'll be easier to move around then. This is the portable saw, and you see the base I put on it, 2 drawers. It's on wheels. So it's very easy just to slide around the shop and put it wherever you want. So it'll be easier to get that saw out of there so I can clean behind it. But that's where the dust extraction is going to go, and I need to empty the bin. I found some birch ply for the cart, but it's painted. After I saw it, I'll put it through the sander and it should stand up alright. Use all the old scraps of ply you can, but plywood is so damn expensive nowadays. Really expensive. We'll cut the sides of the cart to size and then we'll put them through the sander. Okay, just straightening an edge now. And the pliers with my sliding table saw. Great machine. And ripping it to width. Alright, you see how I test the width of this piece of plywood first, before I cut an edge. But I want to know how wide it is so I don't cut too much off it. And now putting it through the sander. Just take a little bit at a time because it's a very wide board. I've done it in about 5 or 6 passes. Sanding the paint off, but it came off well. There it goes. And screwing the drawer runners on. I like to work horizontal, as you see, before I make the cabinet. A lot easier that way, guys. And just putting the cabinet together now with a bit of glue and pinning it together. And then after that, I'll put some screws in it to hold it. Just pinning it together with my nail gun. Bit of glue, there goes the top. All done. Now cutting the drawer sides to about 120, I think I cut them at. And pinning them together with a bit of glue and the pin gun first. And testing it in the hole and make sure it's right before I screw it. And putting one screw in the centre. And screwing the bottom one now, a bit of glue, and the bottom goes on. Just a bit on drawer construction now. You see how I put 2 pins in the drawers and 1 screw. That's enough to hold it. You don't have to go wild on the screws because you get too close to the edge. 2 pins and a screw, that's fine. You see how the sides go past the front? So if you did it the other way, we'd go the front over the sides, you could easily pull it off with a big jerk. If someone jerks the drawer front off, it can come off. But this way it can't come off because it's fixed through the sides. There's no way that you can pull the front off that. Next thing I'm going to show you, I just glued and screwed the bottom on. They're only shop furniture, not boxes or fine furniture. This is the way that I do my boxes. You see, I've got a groove all the way around, and then I slide the bottom in and then staple the back. So that's how it all ends up. So that's another way of doing it. You could do that on these too, but you don't need to. You can just glue and screw the bottom on. Okay, just marking out for the other side of the drawer runners. And screwing them on. Again, working horizontal. And putting them in the hole. Make sure they fit. Thumbs up. Screwing on the casters now. They're rubber casters that I use. Just a nice smooth fit, and lifting the saw onto the cart. Another heavy item that I lift by myself, which I shouldn't do. And screwing it down to the cart. The mobile stand for the dado head saw. Moves really easily, which is great, so I can get behind to clean up when necessary. But you see the mess behind there. Look at that, guys. It's a mess and a half. It was shocking, wasn't it? But I couldn't move this bloody thing. Anyway, one job done, guys. The carts had 2 coats of polyurethane on it, so any sawdust sits on it will slide off. When you got raw plywood, the sawdust seems to just stick around the fibres of the wood. So this has had two coats of polyurethane, and this is a much better setup than the big stand that I got next to me here. Look at that, guys, all finished. Come on, great. So join me again in the next video. We'll be working on the miter wall again when my blast gates and the plywood are cut.